Thank you very much, Caoirleach, and I welcome the Disability Bill and the importance of this legislation regarding people with disabilities. I commend Senator Clonan for being the driving force behind this, and I was happy to move this bill into the House at the initial stages. This bill creates a legal requirement to provide all supports listed in an assessment of need. It is highly disappointing that Ireland is currently the only country in the European Union that has no legal requirement to provide all the supports listed in an assessment of need. This bill was circulated to the whips of all parties and they refused to sign it. In the last debate in this House, the Government proposed an amendment to defer the bill for 12 months. Senator McDowell then informed the House that the Government could decide not to appoint tellers. This led to the amendment being lost and the bill passed the second stage in the Seanad. That are the facts of why we are here today. This is a welcome development in that time, as since the last debate, the Government has given a commitment to ratify the optional protocol of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. This will provide an accountability mechanism if a person's right under the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities were being violated. A UN committee would also be responsible for overseeing over which the Irish Government would not be able to appoint people, and this would create an accountability mechanism. The Government also published a Green Paper on disability allowance that introduced a tiered system for disability payments. I note this was opposed by Senator Clonan in a PMB motion along with other grassroots groups. The Government later decided not to pursue this. The Government chose to say that they would strive to support the provision of care. It defied the recommendations of the Citizens' Assembly and did not recognise care within the wider community, a violation of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Minister O'Gorman, amongst others, attempted to argue that this would create a greater obligation on the state because those in need of care could take the state to court. The defeat of the care referendum in the spring and the campaigning of the carers and their organisation for a no vote shows that even within a tokenistic constitutional acknowledgement was offered, it was rejected because it was simply not good enough. People with disabilities and those who provide care deserve strong state supports and entitlements. The leak of the Attorney-General's advice made it clear that there would be no specific legal obligation on the state. Minister O'Gorman also withheld the interdepartmental minutes in which legal wording that would have placed a clear obligation on the state was discussed. A costing exercise was mentioned in the interdepartmental minutes. Shamefully, this is a government that does not do enough and support disability rights and carers' rights strongly enough. The failure of the referendum and the opposition to the constitutional amendment from disability rights groups in part reflects a desire for a stronger commitment and not tokenism. I therefore welcome this bill as a step in the direction of better provisions for people. I welcome this bill and hope it succeeds in creating a legal requirement to provide all supports listed in an assessment of need.